Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be learning how to cut quite a number of necklines, and for that we'll just be needing our basic bodice pattern. I'm going to use my basic bodice pattern to teach you how to cut different kinds of neckline. Please do well to stay tuned to the end of this video as you'll be gaining a lot. Also subscribe so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. Leave a like and a comment in case you have any questions, and also encourage me to make more videos. And let's jump right into it. For our first neckline, we're going to be doing the round neckline. With this pattern, I'm just going to go up by 3 inches on the shoulder line. I'm going to go up by 3 inches, and I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches. You can come down by 4 inches or 5 inches depending on how deep you want the round neckline to be. But for this pattern, I'm going to be coming down by 3.5 inches. This single pattern master is going to serve for whatever neckline I want to cut. So I'm going to place it like this. And there we have the round neckline. Once I cut it out, this is what we have. This is the round neckline. Okay, so for the next neckline, it's going to be the V neckline. For the V neckline, we also have our basic bodice pattern. So we're going to be going out by 3 inches again. If you're on the bigger side, you can go out by 3.5 inches or 4 inches. So for the V neckline, you need to measure your neck depth, where you want it to stop, because if this goes too deep, you're going to reveal some cleavage. So if you don't want to show any cleavage, about 7 to 6.5 inches is okay. I'm going to take 6.5 inches for this pattern. I'm just going to connect it with a straight line. And this is it. I'm also going to mark 7 inches, or rather 8 inches, so you can see how deep it can be. And I'll also mark 4 inches so you can see how wide it can be. Okay, so I'm just going to cut through. This one is the 6.5 inches by 3 inches. And this is how it looks. If you're going for something that will not reveal any cleavage, this is perfect. And if you want something deeper, this is what we have. You can see this one is a bit deeper, so it will reveal a lot of cleavage. But then if you're on the bigger side, you have to go wider at this point. So this is what it will look like. You can see it's now wider. So this is for the V neckline. This is how we cut it. So for this square neckline, I'm going to be going out here by 3.5 inches. On the shoulder line, I'm going to be going out by 3.5 inches. And for the depth, I'm going to be going in by 6 inches. You can go in by 5, you can go in by 7, by 6. Again, it depends on how deep you want it to be. So I'm just going to connect this. We can easily cut this up, but I want to show you something. So if you want to make this a bit stylish, you can actually go in by lesser at this point. Let's say you can go in by 2.5 inches, and then you can connect it like this. That way it's a bit stylish. Let me show you what it's going to look like. Once you open it up, you have a stylish neckline. It's not all squared up, but then if you're going for the square neckline still, you can just cut this up, cut this open, and then you have this. It still looks very beautiful. So for the Kano neckline, I have another bodice pattern. So I'm going to go down by depth, I'm going to go down by 7 inches. Again, it depends on how deep you want it to be. If you want it to be a bit deeper, you can go in by 8 inches. I'm just going to draw a straight line. So at the shoulder line, I'm going to go in by 2.5 inches. You can go in by 3, you can go in by 3.5. But I'll be going in by 2.5 inches to 3 inches at this point. And from here to this point, I'm going to go down by 5 inches. And I'm going to draw yet another line. So once I've drawn that line, I'm going to come in at this line that I've drawn. I'm going to come in by 2.5 inches. You can come in by 3 inches. I'm going to come in by 2.5, or rather 3 inches. Once I've come in by 3 inches, I'm going to connect. So the next neckline I'll be cutting will be the sweetheart neckline. So at the shoulder line, I'm going to go out by 3 inches, and I'm going to go down by 6 inches. I'm going to connect that with a straight line, just like I did with the square neckline. So recall that the sweetheart neckline is kind of like a love shape. So to get that, I'm just going to go up here by 1.5 inch. I'm going to connect this with a curve to create that shape. So in cases where maybe the dress is an off-shoulder dress, in off-shoulder dress we take off 4.5 inches to 4 inches, 4 to 4.5 inches. So here I already have 4.5 inches taken out. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to connect it all the way down. I'm going to connect this way. That's if it's an off-shoulder dress. If it's an off-shoulder dress, then it will look like this. But then if it's a strapless dress, it has no sleeves at all. I'm just going to connect this all the way down. That's if it's a strapless dress, no sleeves at all. And then this is what it's going to look like in that case. So this is for the sweetheart neckline. So the next neckline we'll be cutting is the boat, or you can call it the Canoe neckline. For this neckline, the depth is usually shorter and the width is wider. So for the width of this neckline, I'm going to be taking 5 inches, and for the depth, I'm going to be taking 1.5 to 2 inches. I'm just going to connect it to the curve like this. And this is what it looks like. It looks like a canoe, it looks like a boat. This is called the boat neckline, or the canoe neckline. So the next neckline we'll be cutting is the monostrap neckline. For the monostrap neckline, it's a kind of neckline where one side does not have a full shoulder. So for a monostrap neckline, you have to open it up. So first of all, I'm just going to be going up by 3 inches. By 3 inches. So it's going to go like this. So for the monostrap neckline, I'm going to first of all cut 2 inches down for the neckline. Okay. So depending on how I want it to be, if it's a monostrap neckline that has a sleeve, an off-shoulder sleeve, I'm going to go down by 4 inches, and at 4 inches I'm going to just use my curve to connect it all the way up. And this is how it looks like when there's an off shoulder sleeve, or if there's no sleeve at all, if it's strapless at this end, a monostrap neckline. We're just going to connect this all the way to this point, still using our curve. This is what it's going to look like. So it basically depends on the style of the monostrap dress or top, whether it is strapless or whether it is cold shoulder. So this is what a monostrap neckline looks like. For the next neckline, it's going to be an asymmetrical neckline. So for this neckline, I'm going to go in by 3 inches. I'm going to go down by 4 inches. I'm going to connect that with a curve. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go down. So monostrap, some asymmetrical neckline, goes like this. You can see it goes like this. So it all depends on how you want it to be. It can actually go deeper and it can go all the way up. You can see it all depends on how you want it to be. It can go this way and it can go all the way up. All depends on how you want it to be. This is how an asymmetrical neckline looks like. Let me cut out this piece. This is an example of how an asymmetrical neckline can look like. So the next neckline we'll be cutting is going to be the wrap neckline. So for the wrap neckline, you have to get the midpoint. So you know where you want to begin to cut your neckline. You have to get the midpoint. Once you got the midpoint, just open that up. So I'm going to go out by 3 inches at the neckline. And I'm going to choose how deep I want my wrap neckline to be. Because I don't want to reveal any cleavage, I'm going to go down by 6.5 inches. This way. So once I've come down by 6.5 inches, I'm just going to connect this all the way down to this point. That's basically it for the wrap neckline. This is basically for the wrap neckline. You can decide to also give it a curve if you want to. You can have a curve around this point, but it's always nice when it's still straight. It goes this way either. You can also decide to do it this way. It all depends on the kind of illusion you want to create when cutting the wrap neckline. So I'm just going to cut these two out so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is what this one looks like. And when there's another piece, it just comes to this point like this. And also make it see, it all depends on how you want it to be like. So this is what we have for the wrap neckline. And one thing about the wrap neckline is that it usually gapes. So if you don't want it to gape, you can add a dart to it. It usually gapes around this point. So how we can fix that is I'm just going to add a dart somewhere around this point, or here rather. So we just go out like this. Now basically all you have to do is just take this down. And when you're cutting, you can just cut it out and you notice that when you sew it, this cloth is not going to gape. So for the next neckline, it's going to be a keyhole neckline. For this keyhole neckline, it basically has an opening around here and a little neckline around here too. So first of all, I'm just going to do the round neckline. And the round neckline, that's going to be, for me, it's going to be 3 by, I'll take 2.5. I can also take 3 because I don't want it to be too high and I don't want it to be too deep. But I'm going to take 2.5 because in any case, when you're sewing, it's going to come down to 3 inches or 3.5 inches. So I'm going to go down by 2.5 inches. I'm going to connect this with my French curve. So once I've done that, I'll just go ahead at this point. If you want to review cleavage, then you can go down by more inches at this part I'm about to explain. So I can usually go down by 6 inches or 5.5 just because I don't like too much cleavage. I'll go by 5.5 inches. So at 5.5 inches, I'm going to create a curve around here. Now from here, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. And I'm going to connect that with another curve all the way to this point. And this is it. Usually has an opening around here. So in case you want to sew like an Ankara cloth or you want to sew a cloth that has a yoke, this part becomes the yoke of the cloth. It becomes the yoke of the cloth like this. But of course you have to add more allowance because of this. But this is what the keyhole neckline looks like. I do hope you find this tutorial very helpful. Please do well to subscribe to this channel. Also leave a like and a comment if you have any questions, as it will encourage me to make more videos. Turn on your notification bell so you can join the family, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.